It's the Dork Podcast. It's the Dork Podcast. Rich Keefe. It's the Dork Podcast. Hashtag. It's the hashtag Dork Podcast.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Hashtag Dork. My name is Rich Keefe, joined as always by Davey Eyeballs. He is Rambo Von Dambo. He is promo code Ron Von D, now 20% off. All hail the king of ginger ale. It's Ryan Davey. Davey, how are you?
Having a good night. I'm a little tired, but I got a big day tomorrow, Richard.
What's going on tomorrow?
I'm getting my Fauci ouchie. I'm getting stuck. How about that?
You get the old vaccination tomorrow, huh?
Yeah, getting vaccination, and we were lucky enough in the Charter Oaks, the Constitution State, to get the Johnson & Johnson one. So I'm one and done. How about that?
The big Johnson vaccination tomorrow,
Big Johnson vaccination. I'm looking forward to it.
Good for you, sir.
Yeah.
I'll be seeing you. By the time I get in line, I'll probably see you around the fall. But
yeah, you're right behind the gorillas, right?
I think Harambe gets it, and then I should be right after Harambe.
Mm-hmm. Unbelievable, these people.
Unbelievable, these people is right. Ryan, how about this? Right out of the shoot here, before we get to the news, hashtag Dork Madness is off and running. We are trying to crown the best TV character in the history of television. Obviously, a modern slant, really kind of our lifetime characters.
Right.
The first round is almost over. We have one more region to get to. I'll tell you what I've been really surprised by, though, and not to go through the entire bracket. You can find it on Twitter and Instagram at Dork Podcast. I was really surprised that Stewie Griffin smoked Ahsoka Tano and Bart Simpson beat Rick from Rick and Morty.
Which is odd because I feel like in the trajectory of The Simpsons, Bart became a worse character and Homer became a better character.
And I also feel like, and I give these people credit for remembering how good The Simpsons was, but in my mind, it was so long ago that like Rick and Morty are like the new thing now.
And I honest to God, I know we've talked about this before, but I don't think I've watched a full episode of The Simpsons in 20 years.
No, I don't think so either. But people don't forget, Ryan. People don't forget.
They do not.
This week in Dork. Yeah.
Coming to the number 2, America, available now on Amazon Prime. I watched it over the weekend. Did you?
I did not. I did not have an opportunity to watch it this weekend, but I will get to it probably tonight. I understand, but it was a busy weekend, as you know, for the people who.
Ryan, I'm not farting on you. I'm farting on the movie. I'm telling you. Save the 100 minutes. Save it.
No, we got to do it then.
No, we're not doing it, though.
Fuck, though.
We said we penciled in. Now, this was smart to do it in pencil and not permanent marker. We said we were going to do an episode standalone on Coming to America. Ryan, it stunk. But it also wasn't like so bad in my mind that it was even worth doing. It was just
a shame.
It was a comedy movie with no laughs.
I hate it. I hate that.
I didn't laugh during the movie.
Oh, it sucks. I wanted that movie to be good so badly. But fuck, man, that's too bad.
What I needed, you know what I neaded out of Eddie Murphy in this movie?
What's that?
Yep.
You want your colon clean? Man, I'm gonna clean mine.
That's what you need. That scene, the first time you saw it, if you didn't laugh, no pulse.
No, hilarious. One of the great scenes of all time. The dinner scene, Nutty Professor. But Coming to America, you can watch it again if you want. But I'm telling you, it's not worth doing an episode on. It was not good.
Fuck. All right.
I know. I hate
bad.
Be the bear.
We got it in the movie draft too.
Now, did we get it?
I think so.
Oh, it sucked. I think last time I checked, it was like 50% on Rotten Tomatoes.
No, we didn't. We had it and then lost it.
What do you mean?
Like we had it at the.
Oh, but we didn't
before. We didn't keep it.
See, smart GMs.
Smart.
That would have been a poor keeper. But also on Amazon Prime, at the end of next month, April 30th, we are going to get a new Michael B. Jordan movie called Without Remorse. Did you see the trailer for this?
I did. A Tom Clancy joint too. Pick of the pod.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think it's a little too much. There's a race right now happening between Tom Holland and Michael B. Jordan as to who could be in the most shit. I feel like recently.
Tom Holland's off to a tough start. His movies are getting reviewed poorly right now.
Very poorly.
And Cherry.
Yes, not very good. But Michael Jordan is trending upward. Now, there's also that rumor. First of all, I don't want to take away from the topic. Yes, I did see the trailer.
Michael B. Jordan.
It's like a Jason Bourne kind of thing.
I was thinking this. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's definitely we may have seen the tale before.
Right.
You know, everybody in his family has been killed, or his wife has been killed, and now he's on a little bit of a warpath after the fact.
Yes.
I thought this. Now, I don't know when I'm going to get the vaccination. You're getting it tomorrow. Maybe a group of us get the vaccination and we watch this movie, and then
Boner, 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 boner next to my friends.
Now, I think the other thing too that I was going to bring up is now he's rumored to be Superman.
I've been pushing this for how many years?
A J.J. Abrams directed Superman with Michael B. Jordan.
I love
it. Sorry. Too much board. I've loaded it. By the way, I have the max number of audio bytes for the board are in the board.
That's unbelievable. You filled it. How many is that?
Only 64, but I have 64 audio bytes in the board right now.
So the other thing, I'm going to say this, and this is going to be unpopular with you, and it might be unpopular with the listeners. And I'm going to say this directly to Michael B. Jordan, who I know is listening right now. Do less.
No, Ryan, shut your mouth.
Do less. Take a break.
Oh, no.
Jesus Christ. How much time did you spend loading bullshit into that board?
Not much. I knew what I wanted in there. It doesn't take long. Ryan, do less for Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
That's the worst advice I've ever heard from anybody to give to anybody.
Really?
In everything.
Really? That's not hyperbole. That's the worst advice you've ever heard one person give to another.
Michael B. Jordan is in his prime right now.
I understand, but like
prime. You see him without a shirt on?
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Great actor. He is drama, check. Action, check. Comedy, check. Push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, check, check, check.
What comedy movie was he in?
Line?
Shut up.
Fantastic Four.
That was pretty funny.
In your face.
Yeah, in your face.
In your face. Ryan, Falcon and the Winter Soldier is out a week from Friday, so a pretty quick turnaround as far as the Marvel shows are concerned. Of course, lining up nicely with our topic du jour. So that'll be an exciting thing on TV. Also on TV this week, Wednesday, South Park is doing a vaccination special.
Oh, that's good.
A pandemic special, which was hilarious.
That's pretty funny.
Now they're going to do a vaccination special. That's on Wednesday night, so I would try to get that. Ryan, we have submissions for our next great game. Do you want to play?
I can't wait. Yep.
All right, let's play the game here. Everybody loves this game. Very simple. Should I have bought this? And we thank you, the listener, for submitting a few different items. We have two we're going to use this week, unless you surprise me with something that you have.
No.
Okay. No, you've been told not to buy things.
Yeah, no, not until the stimmy and my tax returns come in.
Fair enough.
Yes.
So this one comes in from Kevin, who said for $203, that's with tax and everything together, a savings of about $40, he believes. He got it on sale,
yep.
$40 more. It is the original Nintendo in Lego form. And this has got a lot of pieces. Keep in mind, Legos are super expensive.
Yes.
This is a really nice piece, though. You put this together, you spend some time, you put this together nicely. It looks just like the OG Nintendo console. You can display it, Ryan, I would suggest anywhere. What do you think? As far as Kevin is concerned, should I have bought this?
Does it work?
Well, no.
No. I'm out on Legos.
It's a chunky.
This is a chunky. I
really? That's
cannot.
Crazy. I like it, Kevin. I like it.
Oh, well, we're split on this. I don't know.
First person in the chat, break the tie. Oh shit, John.
Oh, there it is.
It's a chunky.
I don't see the value in buying a $200 set of Legos. I don't.
Well, maybe you like doing Legos. See, you want to see something else that he bought?
Yes.
Tell me the price on it. But he put this puppy together. Oh shit. What do I have to do here? Is this going to be a real problem?
The real problem.
There we go. You see that? That's the Batmobile.
See that? At least the Batmobile, like it has wheels. Like you can like move it back and forth. You know what I mean?
Or you can't.
I feel like that.
Or it's not the scale. It's a tiny thing. You can't
I
drive.
understand that, but no, but you can push it. Like say on the carpet, like you can play with it. You can't do anything with the Nintendo.
Well, wait a minute. Kevin's in the chat. Shout out to Kevin. I should have sent an updated photo today. You can insert a game and sorta run the game.
How do you sorta run the game?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't understand that part of it.
I'm in on the Batmobile. I'm out on the NES.
All right.
I'm standing firm.
That's one. All right. Again, it's a tough game. But again, it's a take no prisoners type of game.
Now, for those of you listening at home too, it's the '89 Batmobile. It's not the Tumbler. It's not the George Clooney one. It's the '89 Batmobile, which I am in on.
Yeah. The next one, Ryan. This one I think you might like. Again, should I have bought this? This submission comes in from Anthony. And again, you can email us. It's easier to probably email than Twitter at Dork Podcast. Just dorkpodcast@gmail.com. You can also be a part of Should I Have Bought This? This one comes in from Anthony. And he purchased are you kidding me? This is absolute dog and pony show. How's that? Is that on the screen now? Good.
Oh, there it is. Oh, boy.
Look at these sons of bitches, would you? These are not one, Ryan, but two gremlins. Like,
and he's got some serious fucking two life-size gremlins.
These are two life-size gremlins. These are big bastards. You see him, he has a little gizmo kind of to scale. He has like a stuffed gizmo that comes up to this thing's shin. These are life-size, straight out of the movie. Probably bought it right off the set.
Production value gremlins.
$225 a piece.
Yes.
A piece. And you're buying it. You're a
I'm buying it.
This is how we do it.
This is how we do it.
I love it.
I tell you, the in this picture too, if you're looking at on behind the gremlins, there's a brown gremlin and a green gremlin with a little gizmo, like you said. Behind them, there are three what seem to be
well, one's Hellboy.
I see the Pan from Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah. Looks
and
like
I see one of the, I forget the name of the thing from, it's a Guillermo del Toro trio back there.
Yeah.
I buy Pan's Labyrinth from Pan's Labyrinth. I buy that one, whatever that costs.
I
buy that.
This one's a little dark, but again, you can really see the height of the gremlins. I'm guessing they have good weight to them. Incredible detail. Look at the face. Horrifying.
Jesus, look at that. I know.
Look at that fucking guy.
That's one of those things I would hide around the house on my kids just to scare the shit out of them.
Well, that would scare you. But
Yeah.
I think it's a year-round item. I think around Halloween, it's great for scary stuff. Christmas, we know it's a Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie.
And even in the summer, I think it's nice to let these guys out of the house a little bit, let them breathe.
Let them.
So $450 all in, Ryan, for two life-size gremlins.
How much was Gizmo? Did he tell you?
He didn't tell me. He said he already owned Gizmo.
Okay.
He,
All right.
he was in both pictures. I'm with you, though.
I
This is how we do it.
This is how we do it.
That's how you play right there, folks. Should I have bought this? Ryan, a real stick in the mud here on the Legos, but again, the chat agreed with them. It broke the tie. I thought it was a nice purchase. I like Legos myself.
Probably got no fucking games on it. Clownputer. Got no fucking games on it.
So yeah. So I guess no. See, again, it's not going to be all easy stuff, but
It's not easy.
Email us dorkpodcast@gmail.com. And we'll
You
let you know.
can't watch everything. You can't buy everything either.
You can't. No, you can try.
That's right.
Not good business. Not good
Yeah.
business.
Says the guy with 9 guitars, right?
I was gonna say I have all this stupid shit behind me too. Come on, guys, be smart with your money out there.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you sitting on back here? All right.
It's time for Davey's video game minute. Even if it takes more than a minute.
All right, Davey, what do you have?
Well, as always, this portion of the program is powered by Wild Bill Soda. Go to drinkwildbills.com, punch in the promo code Ron Von D, and I think you still got time to get that 20% discount, my friends. So make sure you go and check that out. Again, you guys have been incredible with this. I get an email every single time that the promo code is used and how much it was used for. Amazing. So
People are buying
please
sodas.
keep it up. And people are buying sodas, and people are really liking them. Our buddy Wes the Wheelman got himself a case of black cherry, and he said it was the shit.
Smart guy.
So smart. So we haven't talked about this, and this has come out recently. Marvel's Avengers is still coming out with DLC. They did Kate Bishop a couple months ago, and now they're doing Hawkeye.
Is anybody playing this still?
No, but the issue is they're doing basically Hawkeye goes into the future, and it's the storyline where Hulk becomes the Maestro. Remember that? I forget which comic run it is, but basically the world goes to pot.
Okay.
And basically the Hulk he's still the Hulk, and he's the most powerful on Earth. And he takes over the world, and all the heroes like come, and he goes insane.
Okay.
And and he kills everybody. And so Hawkeye is now brought in now to stop him, and he goes by the name the Maestro.
Got it.
So that's the Hawkeye DLC that's still coming out. Now they still have this big update that's going to update it to port it to next gen consoles. So they're going to have 4K at 60 frames and all this stuff. So hopefully this game can turn it around. It is on sale. Someone asked them that it actually is on sale right now. I think it's like $30 or $40 you can get it for right now. So if, I would say get it on sale. Don't pay full price for it, but absolutely, absolutely get it on sale. For those of you who in the know, PlayStation 5 was restocked over last Friday, and it's gone. And it's gone.
It's gone.
And it's gone. It was gone in the matter of minutes. So there that is. There are rumors, though, of Marvel games of a Doctor Strange game coming out. I've been reading.
Wow. Wait a minute.
Yeah. So we got like an open world kind of third-person Doctor Strange joint coming out. That's the rumor.
All right. Well,
that's what I heard. You know,
open, would you?
And so there's new Diablo 2. You know, they're remastering Diablo 2, and that's coming out. And then Blizzard announced that you can port your old saves from Diablo 2 into the new one. So from 2000 or 2001, you can actually upload your saves from then, which is actually pretty cool. But the biggest news, Richard, did you hear about this?
No, I don't think so.
Microsoft just bought Bethesda and ZeniMax. So the company that makes all the Elder Scrolls games, you know, like Skyrim and Fallout and like all those games, and Wolfenstein to the tune of $7.5 billion.
Come on.
Ridiculous money. But that begs the question, are now all the Fallout and all the Elder Scrolls games, should I have bought this? Yes, because now all of those games could be Microsoft exclusives, which is going to be, for you PC people, that's great. For you people who just have a PlayStation, no bueno.
Kind of SOL there, it sounds like.
No bueno. So that's the big news coming out of the video game right now. As always, powered by Wild Bill Soda. Go to drinkwildbills.com, punch in the promo code Ron Von D, get yourself some discounted soda pops. You know what I mean? And Richard, hit the next thing. Hit the next thing.
Davey's babies.
Like an absolute baby. Fucking baby. All right, Davey's babies. There you go, right there. Stop being a fucking baby. Who did that sound? Did you make that? Who made that?
Jordan did.
Oh, Jordan, that's right. That's right. He did. All right. So here's the thing. I want to address this head on because I know you are not the type of person to do this. So let me jump on this grenade for the two of us.
All right.
All right.
Sure.
And this is addressing multiple babies this week.
Yeah.
The board fucking stays. All right. Shut up.
The board's not going anywhere.
The board fucking stays.
Everybody in the world doesn't like the board. Doesn't matter. The board's staying. Of course the board's staying.
If you're going to sit there and tell me, you're going to listen to two grown men talk about comic books and video games and movies, right? And you're not a fan of Montel Jordan and farts, I'm going to say this right now, and I mean this with all of the love and respect I can muster. You have shit for brains if you don't like that. Get out. I promise you. And I'm not saying this to be overly dramatic. We know I can go off the rails.
You can do it. I've heard it.
This is a free podcast to listen to. Beat it. If you don't like it, fucking screw. I don't care. I really don't.
It makes
another fart. Hit the long one.
I don't think that
to make it. Oh. Have mercy, Lord.
Name the movie for $1.
That's a new one. That's a new one.
For $1. For $1.
I don't know that movie. What movie was that?
Big Mama's House.
Oh, I've never seen it.
That was from Big Mama's House, starring Martin Lawrence. No, I would say I found it. There was a lot of things this week that were kind of just really like more surprising to me. Like, first of all, we've said this before, and I hate even having to spend time on it, but we'll do it really quick.
Yeah.
This is a podcast that Davey and I have been doing for about 5 years.
Right.
We've known each other for like 20 something years.
Yep.
It's an excuse for us to talk to each other for an hour every week. Because if we didn't do this podcast, and I just told my wife, hey, I want to go downstairs and call Davey and talk to him for an hour. She'd say, what are you doing now? But I say, I'm doing my podcast, and there's no more questions. So we can do this. I would and do it for free. I know it's up on the WEI thing, but if it was up to them, they'd probably say, hey, Keefe, just do a Celtics podcast. So I love doing it. It's for free. Davey also does it for free. Everybody listens to it for free. I love doing it. If nobody listened to it, I would still want to do it. With that said, I like that people listen. I like that the audience has grown in our time doing it. I want more people to listen to it. I like it. I interact with as many people as I can. Sometimes I don't see your bullshit tweets. Sometimes I do, and I think they're bullshit, and I don't respond to them. Emails, we do email bags, we do Q&As, we do stuff like that. I've done Instagram Q&As, and I get back to as many people as possible. I don't understand why some people feel like we owe them like a response. It's bizarre to me. I know that we're not Pardon My Take or Joe Rogan or fucking Bill Burr, but do those guys respond to every single person? Like, I don't, or even
they must, because I don't know.
I don't get it. It's very weird. But what drove me fucking off the wall this week was people telling me, it's one thing if you disagree with, say there's a TV show or a movie and I love it, and you email me and be like, you fucking idiot, this movie sucks. Great. That's the whole point of this.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing, is debating. That's what I do daily about sports. What's your take? Your take sucks. Here's why. Whatever. But I got a few people, and again, it's the minority, being like, hey, Keefe, you got to lose the soundboard. If I can't listen to it. Lose the soundboard? The fucking kidding me? The best thing that's ever happened to this podcast? You want me to lose this? Guess what?
Oh, no.
I wouldn't do it. Like, I wouldn't do it.
it.
Again, a couple people said the soundboard was coming in a little hot. That is constructive criticism. I don't mind that. I am not like, hey, you don't say anything bad about us or the podcast. We are open season. We've had bad audio. You tell us we have bad audio. But if you're like, I don't want to listen to fart sounds, like Davey said, then why have you ever listened to us? We are essentially walking, talking fart sounds. That's what the whole podcast.
That's the whole.
Without said fart sounds.
Thank you for saying it, because I want to be so self-aware of the fact that, like, I know this isn't fucking high art. Like, we're not talking about, like, sometimes I start talking about, metaphysics and like stupid shit, but I come right back down to earth and be like, you know what? No, this is like a hardcore casual podcast. We are very passionate about
Creeks.
That's your wheelhouse normally.
That's my wheelhouse. We'll get into that. We need to put a pin in that. We got to come back. We got to come back to that. But at the same time, like, the fuck, man. Like, I'm not getting paid for this. I don't owe you shit. I don't owe you shit. All right. Now, this again, like you said,
Where? Oh my God. What game show have you ever seen that had swearing in it?
this is 1 hour of my week. I don't know specifically how many hours are in a week.
No, I'm not going to do that math.
But I promise you, all of mine are fucking full. You feel me knocking?
I feel you knocking.
Let me in.
And I would honestly say, like, sometimes, like, as you know, you're in the mood on Twitter or you get an email and it just hits you and you respond right away. Other times you see it, you go, oh, that was pretty good. You don't respond. Other times you see it, like, that was dumb, and you keep scrolling. It's just what it is. No, not hurting anybody's feelings. Like, it's just what the fuck. But like, not liking the sounds. Again, if you don't like the volume of the sounds, got it. I'll do my best. I probably didn't load them all in.
Yeah, that's fine.
But
we'll fix that. That's something we can fix. But like certain things that like don't
Uber cuts, like, fuck right off.
And not only that, but the other thing too, and I know we're spending way too much time on this. We'll get past it. But
people want to talk topic du jour.
Not everything you say to me requires a response. So if you're like,
it's like
that movie sucks, I'm like, okay, you want me to just respond, okay?
Yeah.
Every single time? Yeah. And like, meanwhile, I'm looking at, right now, truth be told, I'm looking at the chat. I see you, John, spelled my fucking name wrong. You can't bitch about one of my takes and spell my name wrong when you can see my goddamn name underneath me.
Yeah. All right, now you're getting hot. You're getting distracted. You're getting distracted.
I'm gonna start waving Nerf guns around the house.
I'm not doing that.
Christ,
Shooting guys with McCree guns. But anyway, that's kind of off our chest. Well, I'm sure it'll get brought back up again.
Oh, now here we just the floodgates are now open. I could just like click on Twitter right now, and I'm gonna have like 8 notifications. Be like, Davey's a dick.
Oh, shut up. Who cares? That part I don't care about.
Hey, Rich, let me ask you a question. And one more question.
Yeah.
Do you like me?
Yes, I do.
That's all that matters to me, man.
I do. I look.
That's all that matters to me.
I say I'm good enough. I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.
Good enough.
A more important question: are you ready for the topic du jour?
I'm still hot. I
Well,
can't.
I'm glad you asked because today it's WandaVision.
Previously on WandaVision.
9 episodes on Disney Plus. We will start as we do with all of our TV and movie reviews, spoiler free. Ryan, WandaVision, did you like it?
Most of it I did.
Most of it I did, he says. A lot to unpack there.
A lot to unpack there.
I did like it. I am
Yes.
a yes on liking it, and there's plenty to dive into. I did like it, and I'll say right out of the chute, if you took all of the MCU characters that we have seen in the 23 movies that have been put out there, and you said, hey, Keefe, rank all of the characters, Scarlet Witch and Vision would be very low. Going into this series, now maybe I changed, maybe I didn't, but going into the series, they were very low. Like all of the main Avengers, I think I liked more. All of the Guardians, I like more. Like all the new characters that kind of brought into the scene. Anybody with a standalone movie, I like all of them more. Not that they were bad characters. It was just I felt the other ones were all better. Whether it was their sweet action chops, whether it was their comedy, whatever it was, I didn't love them. So with all that said, I was pleasantly surprised that 9 episodes, so not even 9 hours, but rough, 8 hours or whatever worth of these 2 characters. I was in. Like I was looking forward to it every single week.
It was good. I feel like, and this is where a little slow to start, and I think that played into my mostly thing. I mean, there's some other little things too, but really, at the end of it, I'm very pleased because really, when this was announced, we had no idea what this was going to be.
Right. We're like,
because the trailers were just so, and how many things now are a complete surprise in terms of content.
You hear about all the casting all the time, and it's like that would have been a fun surprise, but it was in the movie already, or I'm sorry, it was in reports and it was on Twitter and all that other stuff. But I do think they did a good job with how to because again we're watching, we're like, well, Vision's dead, so how is Vision going to be in this show, and like what even is this show? And I know the trailer turned a lot of people off. I told a story a couple weeks ago about how my sister-in-law Nicole, who's been on the podcast, who loves the MCU, didn't start watching the show until like 5-6 episodes in, and I'm like, you need to watch it. She's like, really? Like the trailer didn't do it for me. I'm like, whatever, like forget that, move on. And so I think they did a good job. The action kind of we'll get to it. There was some,
and this is the thing, like this is so hard to do without spoilers.
Yeah. Okay. How about this though? Pretty easy. The shared universe was very much on display. Like,
and then some, and how?
Well, it's funny because like making up for the fact that the last time there were Marvel properties doing a TV show, they couldn't really connect, or they would say something like, remember in Daredevil, they'd be like, oh yeah, like the incident or whatever they call it. Yeah. And you're like, okay. But this was like very, very much so. And I think what they also did was my excitement level now for all of the future shows is super high. Like Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki, whatever else we get going forward, because this was just so well done. Like this felt like a real Marvel Studios show.
Yes, and I'm excited like you to see how all, not so much even how like Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to be good, and I think Loki is going to be good, and What If is going to be its own thing, but how these things weave together, because that is something that Marvel has managed to do that DC just can't fucking figure out. And there are some good things about DC, but they just can't figure out a continuity.
No,
you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's what's special about this.
Yeah. This also did a good job of taking some other minor characters and propping them up too. Like they did a really good job with that.
To some degree,
Well,
some better than others.
I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say. But at least bringing them in, and we can get into the effectiveness, I guess. But what would your Dork score be for the whole 9-episode run
A
combined?
flaccid 5.
So we're close here because I'll probably go hard 5.
Yeah,
But with the explanation that I don't think any episode was a 5. I think there was 4 episodes that were like a 4,
mm-hmm.
and then all the rest of them were probably like a 6. I mean,
So
maybe
it averages. So it probably averages out to a 5.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it was a 5, but like each episode, I was either like okay or like, oh, that was fucking awesome.
Right.
It wasn't a lot of like, and we'll get into it, but I think overall, I'll go 5. I feel 5. Maybe I'll change as we go on, but. Anything else non-spoiler? I know it's tough to talk about. Plus,
it's really tough.
Spoils everything anyway. I think most people aren't listening to this unless they've watched it, but
they watched it at fucking 6 a.m.
and then tweeted everybody about it. All right.
Spoilers! Here come the spoilers!
So one of the issues with this show, and it's not really the show's fault, but because it is weekly, it allows people to wildly speculate and post different, conspiracy theories or hopes or suggestions or whatever. Like connect the dots. Here are the Easter eggs. This is going to point to this. So the expectations were through the roof as the show was moving on. They did 2 episodes that first Friday, and then it was just 1 a week for the next 8. And this was the ultimate, watch. If you don't like it after the 4th episode, you may not like it. The first 3 were sort of its own thing, right? The TV show stuff. 4 is where you're like, all right, you're really opening it up into the rest of the universe. But then going into that finale, and I heard this brought up too on the internets, is that because the way The Mandalorian on Disney Plus ended with Luke Skywalker, they were like, the expectations were through the roof for what they were going to pull out. And so let's just kind of start at the end anyway. Like that's the most fresh thing on everybody's mind. But I'm just going to point out no Doctor Strange, no Four, no Magneto, no Mephisto.
And I would say ... yet.
Yeah. Well, we know that Wanda's going to be in Doctor Strange 2.
And
I was actually surprised that he wasn't in it. I thought if he showed up, it wouldn't have been like like a shocking moment. I was interested to see how they were going to bring him in, but they just didn't. I was actually more surprised by that.
My whole thing with this, and what I think they did successfully, and what I think they played off of, remember, like, because Paul Bettany was talking about, like, oh, there's like a big cameo, someone who I've always wanted to act with, and it wound up being himself.
Actually, a pretty good line in hindsight.
It's a pretty good in hindsight. That was an excellent troll job, but part of the fun of this show and part of what made this show so good was the speculation, because we're so used to now binging everything that having to wait for something in the age we're in now with technology, like you said, and like people having fan theories and all this, it was never this fast. Right. And people were trying to think of things on the fly. And I'm sure Matt Shackman at some point was like, oh, fuck, that would have been a good idea.
Yeah, I would think
Or Feige was like, if someone came up with the idea of having John Krasinski show up as Reed Richards, be like, oh, fuck, that would have been cool.
Yeah,
they didn't. But like,
I was really hoping, because I thought that this show, I still feel like they're going to put all of their major storytelling devices in the movies, is my take.
Yes, they want people to see the movies.
And I think because the TV show could have been the creation of the Fantastic Four. It could have been the creation of bringing in the X-Men. It could have been the Mephisto, who a lot of people theorize could be a major player in Phase 4 of the MCU.
Which I still think he will be.
Do you think Senor Scratchy is Mephisto? That was a working theory.
That was a working theory. I know that. And but the other thing too is, like, you say there's no Doctor Strange, but they mentioned him. And in the end, when you see the end credit scene, when you see Wanda, and what is the name of the mountain? The name
she's dealing
Mount Wondergore.
Mount Wondergore, and she has the Darkhold.
And she has the Darkhold, and she's doing the same thing that Strange did with all of the text. So she's like,
they mentioned Sorcerer Supreme and all that stuff.
They mentioned the Sorcerer Supreme and all that.
I thought that they were going to at the very least, have Strange in the mid credits, or if not that, I thought they would have had somebody contact him or something.
Or I would have loved to have seen like Wu, who's like who's like not Woo. Who am I thinking
Woo.
of? Jimmy Woo,
Jimmy
who's
Woo.
like really into magic.
Yeah.
Like knock on the door and have like Wong answer and him do like a card trick.
Yeah.
And then be like, what the fuck? Like, you know, like that would have been a funny thing to like do a sleight of hand trick in front of an actual magician.
Yeah.
Would be actually really fucking funny.
Would have been great. So I was a little bit surprised. And again, we'll see them in Doctor Strange 2. Now, Fantastic Four is probably too big to put into your show, obviously. But I wondered if you at least just got in like a quick cameo. Would that have killed you? Or maybe they haven't done the casting yet, or maybe they don't know what they want to do.
And this is kind of apples and oranges, but you remember at the end of Shazam when Superman kind of shows up?
Yes.
Like they could have done like
yeah.
It wasn't Henry Cavill, it was just some guy in a Superman suit, but like because his head was cut off, but like you could have done something like looking over someone's shoulder.
I thought something you were going to get
like a silhouette of somebody, you know what I mean? Like something like that, but
so my one complaint, and listen, I'm not like mad. Like I still think it was a good series, and I still would say that overall, I stand by my 5. I was surprised no Strange, Fantastic Four, Mephisto. I thought it would have been cool for Mephisto. I thought Magneto would have been good, but I think everybody has the right to be pissed if you are, because the addition of Evan Peters playing Quicksilver was really just kind of a fuck you, I think.
It was. It absolutely was. It was an absolute troll job.
Oh my God. There was no point. Like, even so, one of the episodes ends on Darcy Lewis making a comment like, oh, she recasted Quicksilver. Because again, the MCU Quicksilver was played by whatever the actor's name is who died in Ultron. And then Evan Peters has been in a bunch of the X-Men movies as Quicksilver. And so I forget which ones, can't call him which, but whatever. He shows up as Pietro, and for a couple episodes, you're not really sure. You're like, well, what the fuck's going on? And you're like, is Wanda in control of this? Is Agnes in control of this? Like, what? You didn't really know what was going on. But he turns out to be Ralph Boner. Like, he's not even... Like, it's a great line, but like, what are we doing?
Boner, 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 boner next to my friends.
But honestly, it's just it's like I think if they have any problem with people being upset about like Magneto, for example, not being in it,
you
half open the door by casting a guy from the Fox Marvel shows. And then you were just like, oh, that was actually fucking...
Nah, just kidding.
I was just fucking nothing.
No, I think...
kind of bullshit.
And it has to... I don't want to bang this drum again, but like the multiverse... At the end, when she's, you know, reading the book, reading the Darkhold, and she hears her sons crying out for her. I mean, that's... The whole thing is going to be her trying to get them back. Right? In some way.
Her kids?
And,
yeah.
And maybe Vision. And so, that I think there's your premise for her going crazy and Strange having to step in.
Yes, I do think she can still be a villain. Don't you think?
To a point, and I think as in the comics, she'll come back around.
I think. Oh, of course. I think. Oh, yeah. Ultimately, she's going to be a hero again,
and she's not going to die. Is my point. Like Strange isn't going to kill her. Yeah.
No, God, no. But I thought this was setting up like, oh, maybe she could be a villain. She'd be the villain of this. And then it was like, she kind of still was a little bit of an okie doke. And then I'm like, I think she'd be a better villain. Because again, that's the one issue Marvel has had. For the most part, the villains aren't great. Again, yes, Killmonger, Thanos, Vulture, but they've had 23 movies and there's 3 good villains. There's 4. But I thought she could, I thought she still has a chance. Now, the Vision thing, how do you look at the Vision versus Vision fight, which we got in the finale, and like who's Vision, who's not Vision? What do we have? What's left of Vision?
So this was one of the things I sat up when they mentioned the ship of Theseus, because it's like this philosophical argument that I think Plato had with somebody. And Vision does a really good, Paul Bettany, Vision, does a really good job of explaining the idea. In that they found the Theseus who killed the Minotaur, who then...
Or even the Romans or Greeks.
Right. It's a Greek myth, and Theseus was sailing home. There's a tragic story involving his return home, but I won't get into it. But basically, the Greeks maintained his ship. And anytime a piece of wood would rot, they would replace it. So, like, and eventually, the ship was not an original. So, like, at what point does it stop being the original ship? So that's the whole
So
the whole
basically,
thing.
So because what you find out is that Wanda's able to manifest a lot. Like she's able to brainwash all the people in Westview. She's also able to create that house and create Vision again. Like, because there's a little bit of an okie doke at one point. You thought she took his body and she didn't. Like she left his body there. She created him on his own. And
that was confusing because did he set that up? Did he fake that?
No, I think she was like holding on to him when she broke into that place. That was a pretty cool scene, by the way.
Yes.
She goes in there, and I just think she didn't feel any kind of life at all from him. So
let me ask you this.
Off and then went to the plot of land that he had bought her.
A question about that scene. If you were that young man working behind the desk, and the Scarlet Witch, who you know who she is, comes in and says, let me in the goddamn building.
I'm letting her in the goddamn building.
Anything you want.
No,
I will do anything. I've seen you blow up innocent children.
Yeah.
You blew up a children's hospital by accident. I don't want to see what you can do on purpose.
You fought Thanos and
almost beat him. Thank you. There's the door right there. Do anything you want to do.
Whatever you need. So she storms out of there and didn't take the body. And then so what I believe is Sword was able to sort of put it like reassemble Vision. And then it's the white Vision. Oh, by the way, and I know we'll get to best worst coming up. The costumes were awesome. They had
unbelievable.
Every version of Vision from the comics they put out there. Like the MCU version was great. The old school like one from like the playing card and like that one, like the Halloween costume, awesome. Then the all white Vision, which they used for a long time.
And awesome. I think that's the first Vision I ever saw was the white one.
Yeah, same. That sounds right.
Like back in the 80s or whenever it was. I think the very first version of Vision, I almost said that incorrectly, was the white one.
So this is what basically I got out of that. And you kind of explained it there too, is so the two Visions are fighting and the manifested Vision is the one that like we kind of associate as the viewers, like, oh, well, that's the one that Wanda sees as Vision.
It's Jarvis.
But then even he knows, he's like, all right, so he's got this other Vision whose goal is now to kill Vision. And he basically gives him his memories, right? So like the memories that he's given from Wanda or somehow achieved, he gave to him. So basically there is a Vision flying around out there because he's just like, all right, sweet, I'm out. He leaves and he'll probably pop up either in Doctor Strange or some other movie. But do you look at him as though he is like Wanda's Vision?
And this begs this is the debate. Can he be? When does the thing stop being the thing? Right. So I forget the time frame, but like the cells in your body replace themselves every number of years. So you're never really. So what makes a person a person? Right. What makes. So like, is it the shape? Is it the. I hate to be, the soul of a person is the meaningful thing? Is it the brain? And then what is it? Which is the asshole? Is that what you said?
Oh, I said he doesn't have a soul.
I thought you said he's an asshole. I'm like, well, that could. That's very well.
He's an asshole. I'm not sure.
Well, soul is what? It's memory. It's so. What is a brain other than like a hard drive? You know what I mean? So if you upload, and there's been movies like this before, like you upload my consciousness into another body, am I still me?
Right. Yes,
and I think I am.
That Wanda will have to figure out. She'll have to determine.
Yeah, and so will he. And that's the being a synthetic not a robot, but a synthetic person. He's going to have to make that choice, which is fascinating to me. Like that, if you were given the choice of who you wanted to be, I'm stuck like this. But
this is, I think, what I am.
Yeah.
Here's one problem, and again, we both already gave it 5, so we like the show very much. Here's one issue that I had. I thought the best episodes were 4 through 8, and the weakest episodes were 1, 2, and 3, and the finale. I think that this show did a really good job of not just being like another like Marvel action movie to a point. Like I think at the finale, it started to do that. And I think it was actually a pretty heavy show. Like for a Disney Plus show, it is all about like grief. And we'll get to the big money line that they had from this and everything else. But like basically what Wanda has gone through, and this show did another great job of kind of picking up the pieces for how Wanda's been portrayed in all of these movies. It's been kind of sloppy, and they kind of made sense of it, right? Like how she was brought up, what happened to her when she was young, what happened to her when she was older, what's happened to her now.
Where the accent went.
Right. Like all that, like they kind of figured that out. They kind of Rogue One it. They kind of told you what it was going on. But don't you think this show was more about like like grief and loss and things like that. And then at the end, it ended up just being Vision fighting Vision in the air, a witch fight in the air. And then at the end, Scarlet Witch comes down to the ground. Monica Rambeau, who was a really strong character early, then kind of disappeared late, is like, hey, Wanda, I would have done the same thing. Like, wait, what the fuck? Like, she tortured these people for how long?
Right. And I think there was a moment in that last episode when Agatha had everyone like snap out of it. And what was the name? The headlight, Peggy?
Yes.
Was talking to her, and she's like, we, basically like you were tortured, like we have your nightmares.
Yeah, and like kill me. Like if you're not
gonna let me go, kill me.
Just kill me. That's pretty heavy stuff.
That's heavy, dude. And that's like, and I think
seriously.
So what? And again, I don't want this podcast because we do farts and do Montel Jordan, but I don't want to like get to, but like what grief does to those around you too, like what your grief does to those around you,
right?
And it's not in a vacuum. Like you can't, and I think we talked about it early on when we were talking about the first half of WandaVision. We were talking about like the stages of grief, and the last one being accept. I don't know all of them off the top of my head, but the last one being acceptance. And so the last episode is one, accepting who you are,
right?
That being the Scarlet Witch. Ooh, two, accepting the fact that Vision's dead,
right,
and that her kids aren't real. So like this is
I thought what would have been maybe even a more powerful ending was like when she first was about to change everything back. And then she realized, oh shit, if I change everything back, that means there's no Vision and I don't have my kids. And if she just went through with it then. But so then what ended up happening, you know what I'm saying? Like, so there was that scene where they started to basically get snapped away.
Yeah.
And then she was like, oh shit, let me stop that. And then kind of figure this out. And that allowed like the Vision battle. The kids ultimately got wiped away, which is also sort of a weird scene. It's like, let's tuck them into bed.
But I think what if it were me, right? She stops it and it allows for this other stuff to happen. But ultimately what it does is it lets her say goodbye or let go in her own way. I'm not doing this because you're telling me to. I'm not doing it because like you think it's the right thing to do. I'll do it in my time, which I think everybody has to do.
Yeah.
And that's what she wanted to put the kids in bed, give Vision a little squeeze.
Yeah.
That's the end of it. Right.
Yeah.
I'm doing it and that is, everyone is telling, even from the moment you meet her in the MCU, everyone is telling Wanda Maximoff what to be and how she works.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately it comes down to like her saying, no, this is the way it's going to go down. And she, one, on International Women's Day, has the absolute right to do that. Correct. And two, has more power than anybody and nobody can stop her. And I think that being comfortable with that was a cool thing to watch.
I agree. I mean, I do think that was good. I just think that she got off kind of easy. Now, I don't know what they were planning on doing, but Monica Rambeau was just like, all right, take it easy out there. And then she just flew away. And
to me, the one drawback, and which makes it a soft 5 for me, the transformation of Monica Rambeau happened way too fast and it was way too easy.
Yeah.
Like she understood immediately what had happened to her.
And now she's a superhero.
And now she's Captain Marvel. So
yeah. I don't know. I just thought, I thought, like, do you think Wanda right now is wanted by the Avengers or the authorities or anything?
Yes.
I would hope so. And that's why I thought maybe you even just do like somebody calls Doctor Strange and is like, we have a problem. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just
literally only you can handle this because
like you're the guy. Like, we have nowhere else to turn. We have a major problem with a friend of yours. That's all you needed. I thought you could have gone with something like that. I have a question for you. What happened in your mind to Agnes? Because great character, by the way, kind of towing the line, like good guy, bad guy, then a little over the top with like the, up in the air and like she wants power. But even early, like the early Salem witch stuff, she seemed like she was actually maybe not a bad guy. Like, I thought a fascinating character. My question though is, at the end, Wanda's like, hey, you're now going to be the nosy neighbor. I'm putting you back in as the nosy neighbor. But that was before she turned the walls down and everybody went back to normal. So does everybody else go back to normal? And
I think everyone else is
doesn't
back. I think, and again, there's that whole thing of like you can't change a spell once it's been cast. So she's doing it. I think the people in the town, that was unintentional. That was just like, I mean, think of like the Tony Stark paradox. Like, I don't think he, once he realized he was killing people, that's when he had the flip into be Iron Man. So now you're watching that happen with Scarlet Witch in just kind of a different way, right?
So do you think basically like her mind is obviously no longer controlling Westview, but she has some sort of like spell on Agnes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And she's in, and I think if you watch, and oh my God, we didn't talk enough about how amazing Catherine Hahn was in this show.
Oh my God.
She was so good.
I have a clip.
And
this is chaos magic, Wanda. And that makes you the Scarlet Witch.
Pretty good. She's the first person in the MCU to dub her the Scarlet Witch.
Which was a cool moment. And by the way, people have been doing it on Twitter. The costume looks shockingly like Magneto's in Apocalypse.
I like
Same color and everything, which is great.
Back, by the way, has to be back.
So Agatha is going to be back, and I think what's going to happen, right? Because canonically, what is Agatha is the one who teaches Wanda all of her stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And I think it's going to come like a reluctant partnership between the two of them.
Because basically, when next time we see Wanda, we assume she's going to be looking for her kids.
Yes.
And she's not going to have been able to break through the Darkhold, and she might reach out to Agnes, I think? Yeah.
And I think she's going to ask Strange, and he's going to say no.
Yes, because, I was thinking the exact same thing. He's going to ask, she's going to ask Strange, because he's the only other person that has any kind of knowledge of this stuff. And he's going to say something like, we've already fucked up time so bad.
I'm not touching it. Yep.
Yeah, and then she's gonna get pissed,
and she's gonna get pissed at him, and they're gonna go at it, and then she's gonna break off on her own, and then her and Agatha are gonna have a partnership again.
Love it.
And then Agatha's gonna take her down. She's gonna, I'm helping you, but and that's where Mephisto comes in, and that's where like Hecate comes in. That's where all those things happen, right?
Like the sequel to The Craft.
Exactly.
It's gonna be all witch stuff.
Yeah.
Hold on! This is my favorite. Hold on! Her sister was a witch, right? And what was her sister? A princess! A wicked witch of the East, bro!
My favorite.
You're looking at me and you're going to tell me that I'm wrong? Am I wrong? It's my favorite. She wore a crown and she came down in a bubble, I'm not fighting with you. Grow up, bro. Grow up. Get educated, bro.
I love the grow up, bro.
Grow up, bro.
Grow up, bro. And I love the head Bobby does. Like, wicked witch of the East,
bro.
Doug. Come on, Doug.
And I think,
of course, it's a Doug.
I think somebody fact checked him. I think he's wrong too.
He is wrong.
Like the wicked, like it's like princesses and witches. Like he's got it all fucking.
He's got it all fucked up. He's
like the guy
got in a bubble, bro.
Yeah, the guy sitting in
Grow up, bro.
I'm pretty sure the guy just sitting down was actually correct.
So my wife is in the chat right now, and there was actually a moment where we were like doing the fake fighting thing.
Oh yeah,
and I actually did like the Wicked Witch of the East, bro. You gonna tell me I'm wrong? Like I actually did, like in the kitchen. It feels great. If you ever do it to someone for real, it feels good.
I think he was wrong though. Is the problem?
I think he was wrong, and I think I was too. So that checks out.
Yes, it all comes together. Yeah. All right. So what we got? Oh, by the way, I would. All right, let's do that. We'll get to best parts, worst parts in a second. So 2 credit scenes. You get the mid-credit scene where a Skrull shows up, talks to Monica Rambeau. Basically, it's just like, "Hey, need your hand."
Hey, we're gonna science. Ain't it a thing? We're gonna do Captain Marvel 2.
Right. So basically, just sort of, hey, come talk to Nick Fury, and there's gonna be Captain Marvel 2 is a movie, which we already knew she was gonna be in, and everything else. So
time out. What was the whole fucking bass-ackward pageantry of bringing her into the movie theater to tell her that the person looking for her was in space?
Just so be alone. I don't know. Like, it was just sort of like a big, like, because you're like, well, waiting for it, it's mid credits. Then the post credit scene is one we already touched on. Wanda, now Scarlet Witch, she got the Darkhold, and that sort of leads into Strange 2. So again, that's cool. You're pushing that forward, but again, nothing with Fantastic Four, X-Men, Mephisto. Those were 3 kind of wants that we never really got.
Will Wanda get her hands on the Necronomicon Army of Darkness.
I would assume so.
And Evil Dead. I hope so.
I would think she would be able to cast spells. The best parts of the series. Anything that we haven't mentioned yet that you thought was the best part?
I thought Catherine Hahn was absolutely incredible. I thought all the Easter eggs and all the nods to other shows were, and why that happened, and that being part of her subconscious was fascinating to me. I thought
those were all the shows that she watched was perfect.
Right.
I didn't really get that. I was just like, oh, like, what's her infatuation with these television shows, and why would she even want to put on a television show? There's like, and then as soon as that scene, I was like, of course, like,
and then that's how they learned English. Yeah. Like that was, and it was a comfort to her. Like, and I love that they brought in the more modern ones while she was at the event. Because remember when she went to the Avengers headquarters, like they made her stay in her room. So that's what she did. She just sat and watched TV
and stuff.
And there was that awesome scene with her and Vision, like, what is grief but love persevering, and like that.
I have a clip.
Go ahead.
But what is grief, if not love persevering?
But that good fart there. Good toot. A great line, and it's great that the non-human person was the heart of the whole thing. That he was that she was so wrapped up in everything, and he was the emotional center of the show, which you didn't think a synthetic human being would be. But I thought Paul Bettany was great.
Yeah.
It was nice to see.
I was just gonna say the TV show thing real quick. Specifically the Modern Family episode.
Yes.
So spot on. And Elizabeth Olsen as Julie Bowen's character. It was like a mirror image. It was a great job on there.
It was great. And like they did, I mean, Twitter's great. They do like the side by side of how they did it. And there was a nice little nod to Full House, which I was fucking floored that people did not know that Elizabeth Olsen was Mary-Kate and Ashley's sister.
Oh, yeah, that took off like a couple weeks ago. I'm like,
you didn't.
I don't get it.
Yeah,
they look like they have the same last name. They weren't trying to fool anybody.
No, it wasn't like okay, like that's one of the first things I learned about her. Like, oh yeah, that's the Olsen twins' sister.
I think when they cast her in like the first in like Ultron, or maybe even before that, but I was like, okay. I thought I loved the idea, and the execution was kind of maybe spotty, but taking Jimmy Woo from both the Ant-Man movies, Darcy Lewis from both of the Thor movies. We haven't seen her in an MCU movie since Thor: The Dark World, which was like 8 years ago, and then even Monica Rambeau, who was not this actress, but she was a kid version in Captain Marvel. So you're taking like 3 properties and throwing them all into this one. I thought that was good. A lot of people are hoping for like a Jimmy Darcy spin-off show, and that'd be sick. But by the end,
like the Jimmy Woo files or something that someone was talking about, like that would be great, where he just kind of stumbles into this shit.
At the end, Darcy was like, she was in the finale for like a minute, like 30 seconds.
But I love that those characters were there to keep it from going too dark.
Yep. Yeah.
Every time. Okay. And I felt like they were us in that situation where like every time you saw Darcy Lewis or Jimmy Woo on the screen, you were like, okay, we just need we need a minute to catch up. And Randall Park did such a great job
to the audience.
Yes. And
the characters, because we're dealing with witchcraft. We don't know what's real, what isn't real. And they're like walking you through it too, which made it nice.
And it made it nice that Darcy Lewis, being as snarky as she was, explaining it to dumb Jimmy Woo was great. Like that was it was like she was talking to us because we're the dummies in that situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, what a great point, Josh.
Joshua in the chat said, what is a soundboard but farts persevering?
That's what it is for all of eternity.
Oh, that one. That would have been more than a fart.
So as far as worst parts go, like I said, I thought the Rambo, I always, first of all, I kept calling her Rambo. I thought it was Rambo. Like there's a emphasis on the second syllable, so it's not like John Rambo, it's Rambo, like Monica Rambeau, because that's she's from Louisiana, I believe. So that's a Cajun name.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
I don't like they call her Rambo. Secondly, I thought her story was a little thin. Like just walking back and forth through the thing made you Captain Marvel. I don't know.
Yeah.
And
well, she's not Captain Marvel necessarily. She ends up being what the hell's her name?
Captain Marvel.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought. Well, we have a Captain Marvel. I thought she was like Phantom or something like that, or fuck was her name? Photon. Her name's. I think she's both.
It is, but she's both. Yeah.
But I think in this she'll be Photon. Don't you think? Because
because we already have a Captain Marvel.
Brie Larson's going to be Captain Marvel for a while. But yeah, you're right. She'll be that for a little bit.
And I think Captain Marvel 2 will revolve around the two of them kind of patching things up, and her saying like, "All right, you're Captain Marvel on Earth now.
Right.
Like I'm gonna go do this. You do your thing.
Hang out there. Yep.
Yeah,
that would be true. I think again, the worst parts to me was just sort of the finale. All of a sudden, took all these like heavy matters and just kind of not that it made light of it, but it just kind of like tied it up, kind of. Like I'm more upset with all of a sudden just all right, see you later, Scarlet Witch. Like you kind of tortured these people for a really long time, but there's nothing we can do. So see you later. And then I do think it was a slow burn. Like I understand the people that 3 episodes in was like, am I still committing to this? Like I get that. So for 9 episodes, if 3 or 4 of them were kind of like that'd be the one criticism. But again, overall, I thought it was a really strong start to their TV shows.
The only thing I'll mention in the we'll put it in the bad pile too is that the head of S.W.O.R.D. Like, what is your plan? Like, what was the point of that?
Oh, that's a good question. I have no
like,
idea.
You're not going to kill anybody in there. Like, you're not going to stop any of those people. And it should have been very clear to you when Wanda walks out and then has everyone point every single handgun and firearm at you specifically.
Yeah, he was kind of like almost too much of a doofus.
Yeah, and and again, I don't like villains for the sake of villains. Like, I don't like people who are like, "Oh, we gotta kill her." Like, why? Like, I don't know, because she's too powerful. Like, then talk to her. She's a person. You know what I mean?
Right.
Awful. Yeah.
But again, overall good. And I'm okay with the 1 week episodes or 1 episode a week. I don't need it to be a binge thing. I think I like the idea that people come up with theories.
I love it too. I love talking. It's water cooler stuff, man. We don't have this anymore. Like we don't have people talking about shows every week. I think the last one I think we really had was Game of Thrones.
And I think people are interested in it too. I was looking back at some of our like download numbers, and the mid-season episode we did was one of the higher ones of the year. Like people are in on anything MCU.
The one ask I have
is
Disney Plus, if you're listening, don't do it on Fridays anymore. Do it on Sundays. Release the show on a Sunday.
Yeah, I'm with you. Okay, yeah, that's a negative. Not WandaVision's fault, but Friday, I need Twitter for work. Like you just never know what kind of sports news might break. And I'm looking at what's trending, and it's like fake Quicksilver, and you're like, God damn it.
Or it's just like I'm trying to think of what got spoiled from me.
For me, it was Baby Yoda. Day 1 of Mandalorian season 1. All I see was Baby Yoda, and then people they're tweeting pictures of him. I'm like,
and I remember I got up and Evan Peters was trending, and I was like, God fucking damn it! You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's a problem. Yeah, the Friday's a weird release date. I wonder why they do it.
I don't know either. Maybe, but like, do it on Sunday.
Yeah, if you did it on Sunday, people would watch it, and then you still have the same.
Talk about it on Monday. Like you have something to, I don't have to talk about the goddamn weather and make small talk. Be like, hey, did you watch WandaVision yesterday?
Fucking right, I watched.
And that way, everybody can watch it, bro.
Come on, Doug.
Come on,
grow up, dude.
Grow up, bro. Get educated.
I'm with you. Anything else on WandaVision?
You gonna tell me I'm wrong that I don't want it on Friday?
No, not gonna do it to you.
It was so WandaVision is excellent. If you haven't watched, if you're listening to this,
oh yeah, they've already seen it by now. Any other final? No, I am fired up for Falcon Winter Soldier.
I'm fired up for Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm fired up for Loki, and even more fired up for Doctor Strange.
Yes, which is next year,
which is going to be incredible.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Now, how does Spider-Man fit into this?
Oh, very carefully. Well, we had his movie in December.
And that's supposed to be a multiverse joint.
Yeah. Doesn't Doctor Strange have to be in that movie?
Yes.
Yeah. Wanda's not going to be in that, though, I don't think.
I don't think so. Maybe in the end credits or something.
Well, yeah. I bet they put her on ice until.
But wouldn't it make sense, too, to have the Eternals be like, cut the shit? Like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, you could do that.
And that's their role to be like, stop with the
Whatever
time
you guys
travel.
do, knock it off. You're fucking things up out here.
Yeah.
You gotta stop. All right.
Pick of the bomb.
Pick of the bomb. Pick of the bomb.
Pick of the bomb.
All right, Ryan, would you like to kick, receive, defer, or you may also choose to defend the goal?
I will receive. So someone mentioned in the chat too, how about the Zack Snyder trailers for the pick of the pod? No. All this guy does is sit and cut trailers. And people are like, well, he's doing a character spotlight for everybody. Like,
it's honestly
like I don't know who the fucking Flash is. Like, I need to be reminded who the Flash is. Like, I need to be reminded who Aquaman is. I don't need it.
Keep up with all the trailers. I don't even like tweet them out from at Dork Podcast anymore. I'm just like, all right.
I will say Zack Snyder makes a brilliant trailer. He really, really does.
Yeah.
But I don't need 8.
I think that there's a good chance now that Zack Snyder, like a lot of different athletes, is not properly rated. Some people think he's way better than he actually is. A lot of people think he's worse than he actually is. I think he's made a few good movies because then
he's okay.
People push back on him so much that they're like, the guy's never made a good movie. I'm like, that Dawn of the Dead movie was awesome.
Dawn of the Dead was awesome. 300 was pretty good.
I like 300. The list is short, but
Watchmen is watchable.
No, I take it back. I like Watchmen.
Yeah, it's not.
I thought it was fine. I think that was an impossible movie to make. It was impossible. The book was way too dense. But
and Quizzle mentioned too. This shirt, NewHampshireApparel.com, if you want to pick up a 603 shirt.
Free. I like that.
I actually tried to get them to sponsor us once, and they never responded to me. 2 New Hampshire guys. You would think that it's an absolutely perfect fit for apparel.
You know what you should have done is complain about them not responding.
Oh my God, I should complain about them not responding to me. That I've left them so many good reviews and I can't. I
listened to the podcast. How come?
Yeah, you won't come to my birthday party? Like,
how come we haven't split a 6-pack yet?
Yeah. But my real pick of the pod is this has taken off. We were talking about this in the group chat for a little bit. Anderson .Paak and Bruno Mars have a project that they're calling Silk Sonic.
Ooh,
and they dropped a song called Leave the Door Open, which is just about the sexiest song I've heard in a long time.
Really?
It is what the people would call a panty dropper.
I think I actually have a clip.
The bones are their money, so are the worms. They pull your hair off, but not out to turn it to a man and have another chance at life. But if they pull it out, they turn to bones.
Wow. Oh, and someone just made a good. Do you have any Chair and Itty?
I actually, believe it or not, had it queued up and ready to go. The problem is this: I still might put them in, but Chair and Itty was during a charity special that was filmed in front of a live audience. So
people are laughing. Yeah.
It's not a laugh track. It's actual really people laughing, but it's hard to get clean cuts of it because people are pissing themselves
Even
laughing.
If it's just like, oh, you can do anything with computers these days.
They're laughing the whole time. I mean, I should throw in.
So was I.
So guess what? It might as well have been me. So what is this available on wherever you get your music right now?
Yeah, so anywhere, Spotify, iTunes, anywhere you get your music right now. This song is dope. So check it out.
A couple of things here, Ryan. One, have you started to rewatch Justice League? Because I started to rewatch it.
No.
It's like
I'm putting it off. I'm procrastinating until like nobody's home and I can just watch it by myself.
The Snyder Cut's starting to piss me off because not only is it just I'm gonna have to spend 4 hours on that, but then
did you hear what happened though?
First one for 2 hours. What happened?
So
oh yes, I did hear this.
People were going to watch Tom and Jerry on HBO Max. Don't.
I watched it. Horrible.
And for 2 hours, if you press play on Tom and Jerry, Justice League came up.
Yeah, so you got to watch half of Justice League until they caught on, then they yanked it.
Yeah.
Now you're sitting there like, fuck, I got to wait till the 18th.
Now I got to watch the other 3 hours in 3 weeks.
So my pick of the pod, I guess, would be rewatch Justice League because I think it'll be easier to sort of compare and contrast the two on what's going on there. I also watched the Amanda Knox documentary on Netflix. It's been out for like 3 years. I somehow missed it.
And I was talking about like we always say you can't watch everything, but you can
eventually.
Yeah,
you'll get there. Yeah. And so I watched that. I was like, all right, I'll watch this. Because the newer thing I watched was Murder Among the Mormons.
I was interested in this. Was this interesting?
Not great.
The other thing I've actually started watching too on Discovery Plus. Sorry.
What?
Tell me about Mormons.
I was gonna say it was somewhat interesting. It was only 3 episodes, and yet it was still kind of slow, and it was just like, all right. Like, I don't know. I didn't let the best documentary I've seen recently was probably the Night Stalker one. That was a lot better than the Cecil Hotel, better than Murder of the Mormons. I did watch the Biggie documentary. That was fine. Like, if you're a big fan of Biggie, there's some footage that you wouldn't see, and a couple of characters in his life that I didn't know about. That was kind of good. But I feel like that story's been told so many times. It's hard to
I think I'm good there.
do stuff.
Yeah.
But that one,
the other thing I'm watching is 90 Days, The Single Life. So all the people from 90 Day Fiance who are now single and ready to mingle, including Big Ed, No Neck Ed.
oh my God. Oh, he's out there now? He's on the market?
Oh my God. And he is, I don't know how this guy functions. Or he has a kid. I don't know how he's ever had sex in his life, if that's the way he behaves.
Come on. I dare you.
Watch the show and tell me, are you going to tell me I'm wrong?
No, Doug. What are we doing next week? Because I thought we were going to do Coming to America. Oh, the other thing is this. I thought we were going to do Godzilla versus Kong like in 2 weeks, but I actually missed the date. Like, I think it's releasing internationally like a week earlier than it is on HBO.
Okay. So we had an open week, and we were going to do Coming to America. Now you're nixing that.
No, we could maybe do like comedy sequels as a catch-all.
We could do that. Disappointing comedy sequels.
Because I don't think it's worth doing like a Justice League Revisited, because we'll probably just talk about it in that episode. And that Justice League, we did. You can check the archives when it came out. We did an episode on that.
Bad comedy sequels. Spoiler: Caddyshack 2.
Actually, spoiler: almost all of them. Every single one. That's next Friday.
Yes.
What about? Do you think Goo was on to something by doing a weekly podcast on these MCU shows? Or should we just do it at the halfway point at the finale again?
I like that. Well, I'm glad that today nobody this week is doing a WandaVision podcast except us.
I haven't heard anything about WandaVision.
I haven't heard anything about WandaVision from anybody but this specific podcast. So that's good. So we're on the up and up here.
On WandaVision.
So is Goo going to move to Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Yeah. But that's only 6 episodes. So we could do it after 3 and then at the end, or we could do it every week. I don't know what you think's best.
We'll do 3 and then the end, and then we'll start Loki.
Yeah. So we got a lot coming out. A lot of
content coming.
Bad Batch comes out in May.
Bad Batch.
Oh my God. All right. Well, you can rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts. You can just about everywhere else podcasts are available. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Dork Podcast. We may or may not respond to you. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Dork Podcast. We stream these episodes every Monday night around 8:45. You can email us, dorkpodcast@gmail.com, including submissions to be a part of the very next Should I Have Bought This? And it's not unanimous so far. There has been something that Davey thought the person should not have bought.
I told you, no fucking games on it.
It's going to scare some
Clownputer.
You go to twitch.tv/RVonD, and also we are part of the #Dork Shared Gooniverse on Facebook. Find out what's going on with us, Mac and Goo, the Pop Culture Pile Driver podcast, the Change My Mind podcast, TLDR podcast, Shime Time, Dr. Joe on Twitch. It's an expanding universe.
And, I'm not going to, this is Goo's bag, but we're always looking for new talent. So
is that right?
Why not?
I don't see why not.
I don't see why not either.
Well, no. See, now what you did. Now here's the problem. Now we're gonna get.
No, you know what?
Submitting. We're not gonna respond to them. Then they're gonna get all fired up at you.
I will respond if you have a good. If you pitch me, Rich won't respond. It will not. You will not get a response from Dork Podcast or Keefe 21. Pitch me an idea.
Fuck you, dickhead.
Here's your idea. A good idea for you.
I'm fascinated with the anus. Always have been, always will be. The man who's tired of the anus is tired of life.
I've actually gone back and watched a bunch of Derek outtakes. Yes. All him.
He's gold.
It's just all him. It's amazing. And like Ricky Gervais's enjoyment of him just doing lines is like the best thing ever.
And the gardener burned their bodies.
Oh my God.
Farts are staying. Fuck you.
Farts are for sure staying. It's a staple. All right, that'll do it. Ryan, have a great rest of your week. Good luck with the vaccination tomorrow.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you next week. It'll be Corona proof next week.
Corona proof next week.
Pretty good news.
Bloody hell, what was that?